Hey guys, and welcome. Today I wanted to focus on a part of the Hogwarts Legacy story that could be quite easy to miss out on if you don't complete a specific event or side quest within the story. This is specifically focusing on Ranrok and his hatred towards wizard kind. Ranrok's motivations for doing what he's doing throughout the game stems from a never forgotten pain that he experienced during his younger days, and I'll be honest, it's actually really sad. When I heard about it throughout the game, I thought to myself, no wonder he absolutely despises all of wizard kind and the entirety of the wizarding world, and generally Hogwarts. And it's very clear as to why he wants goblin kind to rise to the top and be the most powerful kind in existence, and no longer be looked down upon by the witches and the wizards. If you go on to enjoy today's video, leaving a like would be very much appreciated. Do consider subscribing to the channel as well for plenty more content coming if you haven't done already. And if you want to learn more around Hogwarts Legacy, the storyline in general, and the different lore bits throughout the world, then I have a full story walkthrough and explanation on the channel, which goes through in exactly that way, from the very first mission to the very last. I also have a very brief yet detailed look and explanation as to what happened throughout the story, which is available to you to have a look at too. I'll leave them both linked in the description down below, and there are annotations on the screen right now. But without further ado everyone, let's dive straight in. Ranrok is a character that as you progress through the story, he looks to have almost lost patience with everyone and everything. A character that looks to have gone through a hell of a lot in his past, and one that will do absolutely anything to get to where he needs to be, even going to the extent of killing his own kind if they were to get in the way of that. And this didn't just happen once during the playthrough, but multiple times, even going to the extent of killing his family members. Even at times creating alliances with people throughout the wizarding world that you'd probably never expect, and especially the people in Hogwarts would never expect this either, the main one being Victor Rookwood. However, the question is, why does Ranrok hate wizard kind so much? In 1709, a goblin by the name of Ranrok, a relation to that of Goblin Bragbor, one day stumbled across an illegal dragon camp which was used for illegal breeding. He would visit the camp in secret at every chance that he could, finding the creatures fascinating, however would never make his presence known. After weeks, he summoned the courage to speak with the wizard that was in charge. However, when walking up to him, he noticed the wizard had dropped his wand. This was Ranrok's opportunity to do a nice deed for the wizard, pick up the wand, hand it back and introduce himself. However, the sight of a goblin with a wand in his hand made the wizard enraged with anger, and he beat Ranrok almost to death. From that day onwards, Ranrok despised all of wizard kind, sees them all as cruel, and this is why he's trying really hard to harness this ancient power for goblin kind. He had a brother named Lodgok, and one day requested his brother to find a load of journals that were left by his ancestor Bragbor, as he'd heard rumours around how good of a metalworker he was, and some secrets that he might have had. Lodgok returned these journals to Ranrok, and it was here that Ranrok started to become more knowledgeable and curious around this ancient magic, one that anyone can possess. A magic so powerful that it had to be contained and stored below the depths of the terrain. Ranrok wanted nothing more than goblin kind to be the most powerful faction in the lands, so this was his new plan. Locate these repositories or magic stores and inherit this power for himself and goblin kind. However, this would not be that easy and would require digging underground under some pretty famous structures, one being Hogwarts and others some of the castles around the lands too. Ranrok forms a temporary alliance with someone named Victor Rookwood, the descendant of Charles Rookwood, a keeper. Ranrok told Victor of everything he knows and promised him a share of the ancient magic if he would just allow him to dig below Rookwood Castle. Victor agrees to this, and when Ranrok does this, he stumbles across the first repository. Here, Ranrok moves this magic into a set of armour, and it allows him to wield this magic as if it was ingrained within him. Ranrok was never able to find all of the journal entries that Bragbor had left, so he was never able to find all of the repositories and their locations, only a select few. However, he knew about Vault 12, but would never be able to get into Vault 12, and no goblin at Gringotts would allow him to either, even going to the extent of paying off the guards to inform him as and when someone goes to open the vault, so that he could be there straight away. Ranrok sent Lodgok to find the final journal entry, and when he arrived at one of the points of interest, Lodgok came across a temporary research tent, with a witch situated inside of it. As he walked over, he expected the witch to be frightened and react to his presence, with the goblins and wizard kind and not being very friendly together. However, she simply turned around, smiled, and told him to take a seat. From that point onwards, they started to work together, and Lodgok became very fond of this witch, who we'd later find out was named Miriam, the wife of Professor Fig. They would continue to work together, and the two promised that they would share all of the information on Ranrok and his plan with one another, to try and help each other as much as they could. However, when Ranrok was informed of this alliance by Lodgok, he was furious. Lodgok quickly ran to Miriam and told her of Ranrok's thoughts, so she quickly shipped off the key that she'd came into possession of, which was the port key of Vault 12, to someone named George Osric. George had no idea why this was sent or what it was used for, but it was sent without any additional commissions, meaning that it probably needed to be sent off pretty quickly because of Ranrok. Miriam would later go on to be killed by Ranrok, and Lodgok and him never spoke again. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why Ranrok hates all of wizarding kind. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on what you think of this, and honestly, it's pretty damn sad. I thought he was a pretty good antagonist in all honesty, and his motivations were very clear and concise throughout the story, and especially learning about this and going into more detail around Ranrok, his relations, and also his ancestors, and why he hates wizard kind and wants the goblins to not be looked down upon anymore. It makes complete sense, and to be honest, I thought he was quite cool. But as usual guys, if you did enjoy the video, a like would be very much appreciated. Do consider subscribing to the channel as well for plenty of content coming around explanation videos and generally lore videos that I love doing for all of these new games. Have a great rest of your day though everyone, and we'll see you all next time.